All right, today I want to talk about the kind of Christian you meet in church who just wants to score points. So, the other day I bumped into a guy who actually helped us with our wedding a long time ago. He was preaching a sermon in the church that day. He came up to me afterwards, seemed like reasonably friendly, but I have a memory of this guy, right? At our wedding, he wanted to take over the whole thing. Like, my wife, she was practicing walking up the aisle. We had a whole thing. We worked out together. It was really nice. She was going to step in time with the music that my friend was playing. And he had other ideas, and he wanted to tell us this is not going to work and you should do it my way. And I said to him, whose wedding is this? Basically, a polite Christian way of telling him to F off. Anyway, this guy is well arrogant, right? He's a lawyer, big shot, probably donates a lot to the church. The old pastor has left the church, right? Him and his wife used to dominate a lot in church. So his wife was head of music, and she kept an iron grasp over all of it. We had a kind of younger youth band that wanted to do more, but this lady just wouldn't let go. Initially, foolishly, I actually asked her to play the piano for my wedding, for the wedding march. So I got her to play this Joe Hisashi song, you know, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, that one. Anyway, in practice, she had found some authoritative music sheet for this song, right? Authoritative, because in her mind there's only like one or two sources where you can get the real notation for any song, and she'd found it from one of her authoritative websites, and then she started to play it according to what she'd found, and man, it was nothing like. It had no beauty, it had no elegance. That song is supposed to flow. It's supposed to flow like water. She was playing it like a robot, so clipped, just not feeling it at all. And I tried to explain to her, you know, you got to get the feeling. And I was trying to show her, I was trying to whistle it to her, I was trying to show with my body. She wasn't having it. She said, no, this is the correct way. I'm playing it the correct way according to the notation. Heartless, just soulless reinterpretation of the music. And so I said, didn't really say anything. And I asked my friend to play instead, and my friend played it beautifully. So the wedding ended up pretty well. But man, if I'd listened to this couple, it would have been a terrible wedding. It would have been cold, man. And so the pastor of this church, he left many years later. And this couple, this very arrogant, controlling couple, they took over the whole church. So he preached his sermon, and his sermon was on secret sin. It was very dark. It was very depressing. There was no real light at the end of it. It was just condemnation. And he comes up to me afterwards, trying to show an interest. Oh no, that's right. His wife walked up to me first. Very cold, very awkward conversation. Very forced. And I looked around and I said, church is really different. She immediately went into, defensive mode. Yes, very different. It's much better. Yes, we've actually grown since you were here. There's many more people than before. I was like, okay. Then her husband walks up to me, and his conversation style is very interrogative. He's a lawyer, so I don't know. He was giving me a rundown. What do they do in lawyers' terms? It didn't feel like a loving Christian conversation. It wasn't fellowship. It wasn't like a genuine, how are you? And, in fact, his wife asked me, are you happy? Are you happy? I mean, what a stupid question. Are you happy? So I said, well, that's a complicated question. And then she began to put words in my mouth. Oh, so you're content? I didn't say either, because I'm not going to respond to such a stupid question. Are you happy? It's just so limiting. Life is not just about, are you happy? Life is complicated, There are joyous moments. There are moments of sadness and pain. There are moments of happiness. Life is complicated, man. Are you happy is a dumb question, and not a question that anyone serving a pastoral role should ever be asking, because it's so stupid. It just shows a complete neglect for a person's holistic being, doesn't it? So anyway, talking to her husband, and it's very like series of questions. Okay, where were you last week? Okay, you were in Scotland. Okay, where were you in Scotland? I don't actually remember. It wasn't that important to me where I was. How could you not know where you were in Scotland? How could you not know that? And then he quotes some Scottish guy to me who I didn't know, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. How could you not know who that is? How could you not know? Dude, you're serving as a pastor of a church. Like, you haven't seen me for 5 years. That's all you've got. Like, that's what you call like catching up on someone who used to be part of your church. Like, where's the love? Are you just trying to score points? Like, where did you think this conversation was going to go? What was your intention behind the conversation? Were you intending to have kind of a battle of wits with me? Like, we can find out who knows more about what? It just didn't feel like love. It felt like a battle. And it's like that with so many Christians I've met in church. Fellowship for them, it's not about really finding out where someone is with the Lord and helping them out. It's about scoring points and, establishing social order. Like, how much do you know about the country, or how much money are you earning? That's what he's really trying to find out. He's not really interested in me as a person. He's interested in establishing where he stands with me socially and finding out if I'm a threat to him. I mean, I'm only there for one day. Jeez. Anyway, I just feel like Christians should be real with each other, Try to actually step into each other's shoes, show genuine love, whatever. The end of the conversation, I basically said to him, you know some things I don't know, and I know some things you don't know. To which I saw his face, and he just was, man, he was not enjoying that last sentence. He could accept the first one, smiling at the first one, not smiling at the second one. He couldn't accept the idea that anyone could possibly know more than him about anything. Stupid, pompous lawyer in a shitty little town in the middle of nowhere in England who thinks he's very important. Anyway, rant over. Thankfully, my son pulled me away from that rather awkward conversation, and I took that opportunity, and we explored the back of the church, which was fun. Bye!